Introduction to The Story of the Middle Ages. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. This reading by Shallenberg. The Story of the Middle Ages by Samuel B. Harding. Introduction. Boys and girls, and grown folks also, often turn first to the last chapter of a book before reading it, to see how it ends. At times this is a good idea, for when we know the end of a story, we can often better understand it as it is told. This, then, is what we will do in this book. We will first see what the end of the story of the Middle Ages is. Then, as we read, we shall better understand how that end was brought about. When Columbus, in the year 1492, returned from his voyage of discovery, a keen rivalry began among the Old World nations for the possession of the New World. Expedition followed expedition. Spaniards, Portuguese, French, English, and later the Dutch and Swedes, all began to strive with one another for the wealth and dominion of the new-found lands, and American history, our own history, begins. But who were these Spaniards and Portuguese, these Englishmen and Frenchmen, these Dutchmen and Swedes? In the old days, when the might and power of Rome ruled over the world, we hear nothing of them. Whence had they come? Were they entirely new peoples, who had had no part in the old world of the Greeks and Romans? Were they the descendants of the old peoples over whom the emperors had ruled from the City of the Seven Hills? Or did they arise by a mingling of the old and the new? Then, if they were the result of a mingling, where had the new races dwelt during the long years that Rome was spreading her empire over the known world? When and how had the mingling taken place? What, too, had become of the glory that was Greece, the grandeur that was Rome? Why was America not discovered and settled before? What were the customs, the ideas, the institutions which these peoples brought with them when they settled here? In short, what had been the history and what was the condition of the nations which, after 1492, began the struggle for the mastery of the New World? To such questions it is the aim of this book to give an answer. It will try to show how the power of Rome fell before the attacks of German barbarians, and how, in the long course of the Middle Ages, new peoples, new states, a new civilization arose on the ruins of the old.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?